Warning, this podcast contains spoilers for both Flash, Arrow, and the Black Canary.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for DC Legends of Tomorrow first look trailer thingy. I'm Clio, your host, and with me I have Dom.
Hi.
I lost my mind. I lost it. I had to run around the house to try to find it again when I saw this trailer.
Yeah, there were no words. I linked it in our group. We have a private group or whatever on Facebook that we share like everything in. I linked it on there, and I'm like, Cleo, where are you? Cleo, I'm like, refresh. I'm like, did Cleo look at it yet? Refresh. Cleo, there's no Cleo. It wasn't until like midday the next day.
You're crazy. Stay up all night. I didn't go on Facebook that morning. I got like Jake and Ader tweeted at me. He watches our podcasts. He tweeted the trailer at me. And I was like, yeah, let's watch. Awesome, fine. And this, like, I got up to Hawk Girl. I screamed. Paused the video, ran around the house looking for my dad. Look, it's Hawk Girl. There was no words, only squeals.
Only squeals.
Only squeals. I am so excited for Hawk Girl.
I'm so excited for this show.
The show's gonna be great, but Hawk Girl though, like she is the new character. Like every other character in this we've seen. Rip. Sorry, Rip is also the other new character, but all the other characters we've seen.
And the villain, Vandal Savage. We haven't seen him yet.
Right. Actually, they didn't even show him in the trailer.
No, they didn't. They mentioned him.
It's actually funny because the reason Jake tweeted at me was because in Arrow, I was using an example for Ra's al Ghul, and then like 10 episodes down the line, I realized that the example I was using wasn't Ra's al Ghul, it was Vandal Savage. And I'm like, yes, sorry guys, I don't know why I thought that was Ra's al Ghul, it was actually Vandal Savage. And then Jake and Ader was like, well, I guess you inadvertently predicted Vandal Savage. And I was like, oh, all right.
That's crazy.
Screw Vandal Savage, Hawk Girl.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Like, I was trying to wrap my head around a lot of things. Like, I was like, all right, so I'm not caught up on Arrow. I'm just, like, almost at the end of season 1. And, I know basically a majority of the things that happen on season 3 already because Felicity had to come over onto Arrow and open her mouth. And
word vomit.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so Ollie's running around the League of Shadows, and then I saw in a CW commercial, Ra's al Ghul. I saw them mention him, and I was just like, between that, I feel like I got a majority of like the season down. I'm like, all right, well, this thing is telling us that Black Canary's coming alive, but then I'm like, I just saw Black Canary like 3 episodes ago on Flash, and my head is like.
So Sarah Lance, who was murdered in, was it episode 2 of season 3?
Something, it was the beginning, they said.
Yeah, it was the beginning.
Fans were outraged from what I understand.
It was such an upset. Yeah. I mean, I was initially mad, obviously, because she's such a great Sarah is such a great character.
I love how you rephrase from was.
Yeah, I know! Because this whole season I've been talking to her in the past tense.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, her exit allowed for a lot of more things to happen, if you know what I mean.
A lot
of more things to happen.
That's the technical term.
So, like, I was angry that we did not have Sarah anymore, but
right.
Someone took up the mantle of Black Canary and is doing her justice.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have White Canary, which I love her outfit, though. Super awesome.
Yeah, she looks pretty naked to me.
Well, she's got that weird, like, thing. I don't know what to call that cut. Is that a halter?
I don't know.
Halter cut with the leather. I think it looks awesome. Besides, she
looks pretty naked to me.
Well, okay,
See?
fine. She busts out of the...
Yeah.
She has amazing arms. The amount of jealousy I have for her arms is insane. Brody, do you even lift?
No.
No. Not like that, you don't.
Nope.
Oh, she just looks so cool. I really like her. Yeah, that one. Ah, it just looks so cool. Because it's like, it's white leather, but it's sort of dirty, almost gray. Yeah. Very cool.
It's eggshell.
No, it's actually not eggshell.
I don't know my colors. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's more of a gray.
And I want to say more Arrow things, but I'm gonna not. I'm gonna not.
I mean, the way the trailer started off was like really cool, right? Because we get like a look at like Ollie, going how he built this team and like how all these weird things are happening, in the city around him that not quite what he had planned for, and then they cut to like over here we see Barry, and I'm assuming that this is actually from Arrow season 2 because I don't remember seeing that scene in Arrow. I mean in Flash.
What are you talking about? What scene?
The very, very beginning scene of like him on a stretcher, like and all that stuff. Like I don't remember any of that in Arrow. I could be wrong. I mean in Flash, I could be wrong, but I think that was in the pilot, right? For the backdoor pilot for Arrow. I thought that's probably what that's from.
No, because we don't see what happens to Barry. We don't see how Barry gets his powers in Arrow.
No, not the powers. I thought the lightning.
I don't... Oh, maybe.
I thought you just saw the accident and then he went into the coma.
I thought it was the same scene, though, that you see in both...
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I watched the first episode of Flash now, so
pretty sure it's the same. What was in Arrow was
I just remember Flash opening up with, like, him doing, like, detective work. I don't know. Maybe that was the second episode. I thought he was, like, reading tire tracks or something off in the very first episode, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's been a while. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I know the CW is doing flashback Tuesdays.
Oh God.
The whole summer, and they're gonna re-air the Flash. So I'm gonna have my hands full watching it again.
Ever want?
Yep.
Yeah. Well. Oh right. I didn't say what I think happens with Sarah. Because Sarah dies, and they bury her. And what I think is going to happen is that, or has already happened, because she couldn't have been in the ground for too long.
Mm-hmm.
So they dig her up. Whoever, I don't know who, I can't even fathom who.
Right.
Dug her up, brought her to Nanda Parbat, put her in the Lazarus pit, and she's back to life.
Yeah, because I mean that whole scene right here, it looks like that's the Lazarus pit, if I'm not mistaken, with the candles.
Yeah.
So.
It's definitely it. I mean, there's always a chance that's not the original Lazarus pit.
That's true.
Because there is a man named Damien Dark who we have not met in Arrow, but is somewhere in the world with access to that sort of thing. Although I don't know why Damien Dark would want to bring Sarah back. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Someone crazy, probably. But she's back, who cares? She's awesome, thank God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this whole thing is just like this awesome like makeshift of like all of these guys. Like look at we have everybody here, right? We have what this is White Canary here.
Yes.
This is Adam.
The Atom.
The Atom, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Not ADAM.
Not ADAM.
No.
ATOM.
Yes.
Atom.
We have
Captain
Cold. Who is this? This is Hawkgirl.
That is Hawkgirl.
And then this is Dr.
Stein.
Stein.
Half of Firestorm.
Yeah, which really has me intrigued is because we don't see the other half anywhere. Ronnie's nowhere to be seen in any of the trailer here.
Yeah. Because Ronnie's not there. I don't know why.
Right. So that's gonna question, because in Flash, he's there.
Yes.
So
well, it's not that Ronnie's not existing. Stein made mention of Ronnie.
Right.
It's just he's not with this team. Honestly, a lot of this is going to depend on what happened. Not a lot of this, but a certain proportion of this is going to depend on what happens in the first half of
both Arrow and Flash.
This next season. So, depending if I don't know, Ronnie's busy with something, or like, I don't know.
The other thing of note worth, there's no Cisco or Caitlin or Felicity or anywhere in any of these clips.
Nope.
So it's not to say that they won't be showing up, but they're not going to be a significant part of it.
No.
And I actually don't believe... Oh, go ahead.
I think the trailer is misleading, because I think you're going to say the same thing that I'm going to say. The trailer is misleading because I don't think there's going to be much Flash or Arrow.
No, I don't either.
They're going to be there. They're going to cross over, but they're not going to be the main focus. The image we're using for the thumbnail, like that teaser image of the team standing around, it is the Atom in front, and then the rest of the team, no Barry, no Ollie.
Right. But I mean, like, Barry is definitely functioning in the trailer, because here we have Heatwave coming in, but then, like, if you watch the stairwell here, the Flash, boom, then Captain Cold, back to Atom. So, like, he's definitely fighting. He's doing whatever in the trailer. So, I mean, there's no sign of Ollie in any of these scenes in the flashbacks during the big fighting scenes. Ollie's nowhere to be seen in there. So I don't know if Ollie's necessarily going to be involved in the time travel aspect of it. But it looks like Ollie and Barry have a huge hand in assembling this team.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when we get introduced to Rip Hunter, who's a time traveler, and all that jazz, and when he starts talking about them as a group, calling them legends, there's some, I forget what the line was, but he says something where I'm like, this is pre-Justice League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
These are some of the founders of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm wondering, and I don't think they're going to do Justice League in this next season, in the season after that. It might never happen.
I mean, Smallville took them, 5 seasons to introduce the Justice League?
And even then, it wasn't really the Justice League.
Yeah. It was a really shitty attempt at the Justice League.
Yeah.
I know that they had all sorts of plans. Like, it seemed like they wanted to do this very thing with Smallville. Mm-hmm. Because there was talks of, I remember back with Smallville, they were going to do an Aquaman spinoff, and they actually filmed, like, a pilot and stuff for it. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was actually kind of excited for it.
I remember that.
And,
well, the thing was, I never got into Smallville.
Right.
Probably the same reason that it took me, 15 years to get into Buffy.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten into Buffy.
Yeah. I went back and watched Buffy when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't watch it while I was in high school, probably because they were in high school,
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Which is probably why I couldn't watch Smallville.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just think it's timing. And somehow Arrow took off, and one by one, the producers let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Now we have 3 shows. Now we're going to have 4 shows. We're going to have an animated show.
Yeah.
I think it was the right thing at the right time, and it exploded. And I think that's really exciting.
It was, and I still, as much of, I think, a disaster as Smallville was, there were a lot of people that enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but...
Not knocking,
I know when Smallville ended, or was about to end, is when Arrow started. It was
really.
I think it was maybe a year. Maybe it was about a year or 2 after Smallville.
Okay.
Because Smallville only ended, I think, 4 years ago, and if Arrow is in,
it's the 3rd season. Just finished.
I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Yeah.
But I remember it was shortly after Smallville went off the air, and it was like, oh, I was really excited because I loved the Green Arrow in Smallville. Green Arrow is actually the reason why I continued to watch Smallville after Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor, left the show. Um, but yeah, 2011 it ended. So we're 2015, so that was 4 years ago, and Flash is in, or Arrow's in its third season.
Third season,
so.
yes.
Yep. So yeah, it was coming right off the tails of that, and I was just like, I was really excited for it, and then I found out, oh, they recast Green Arrow. I was like, that's weird, because I was kind of new to this whole concept of, TV show. I liked my TV shows having continuity to them, and spin-offs and stuff really weren't, too. I mean, there really weren't many of them out there.
But it wasn't a spin-off.
Right, no, I get that. Yeah. But I'm saying spin-offs really weren't too foreign of a concept back then. I mean, there weren't many of them out there, but it was still, I mean, I grew up watching Cheers and Frasier, which Frasier was a spin-off of Cheers. And
was it?
Yeah. Dr. Frasier Crane is the same character that crossed from both shows. And then the Jeffersons. I never noticed that. Yeah, the Jeffersons are actually a spin-off of All in the Family. The Jeffersons were the next-door neighbors to the Bunkers, and so I grew up with a lot of watching the reruns of all these old shows, so I was very familiar to spin-offs in the first place. So I was like, oh, great, they're doing an Arrow spin-off. I'm really excited for that. And then I'm like, oh, they recast Arrow. That's kind of shitty. And then I go to watch it, and I made it like 2 or 3 episodes in, and I was like, I don't like this guy. And I shut it off, and I'm like, I'm done. That's it. Never had any intentions to go back. And then it wasn't until you talked me into watching The Flash.
Yes. Honestly, what really got me into Arrow in the first place was Diggle. Obviously, Diggle's...
I don't like Diggle.
I fucking love Diggle. Diggle is the best. In the first season, every time Diggle came on screen, I was like, Diggle!
I do not like Diggle.
Love Diggle. And the other thing was that when they found him on the island, he had the beard and the crazy hair, like in the cartoon.
Right. I don't know. I'm gonna go back because I did a little bit of tweeting while I was watching Arrow. 2 days ago. I know I'm supposed to like Diggle, but I don't.
You tweeted that?
I did.
I don't think I saw that.
I did tweet that.
I love Diggle.
So, I mean, after watching Flash, I went back to watch Arrow, and I went in with a completely different mindset because now I'm coming off the high of Flash, going into Arrow, and I'm actually really enjoying Arrow. So it's a completely different experience. So it's like you said before, it's all about the timing and stuff like that. But I think what propelled Arrow in the first place was Smallville, and how successful that was. 10 seasons it's a nice run for a show. So I think when they knew what they had in season 1, and they're like, oh, let's try this Flash concept thing. They did the backdoor pilot in season 2, for Arrow, and it resonated well enough for them to, or Flash, it resonated well enough for them to do a spinoff. So now Flash comes out, and it's doing better than Arrow.
Yeah. So
they're like, let's do another spinoff. And I don't think it was too soon for them to even start thinking about it. I think it was a great idea. Yeah. And if this is what leads us to the Justice League, I'm going to be even more excited. Because don't forget, we have Supergirl that is done by the same writers of Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow, or whatever. It's the same writers. However, it's on CBS. It's not on CW. Which brings some technical issues, which they said that they don't know if they're going to be able to get the characters to cross over.
Well, they said that they want to.
They want to.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to the networks at that point. And
and the networks need to not be assholes, CBS.
Right. I think the CW is going to be very open to it.
Yeah.
But CBS needs to, if they're able to pull this off, that means the Supergirl is going to be in this universe, which potentially leads to her being in a Justice League spinoff. We weren't quite sure how Supergirl was going to be done. We're like, oh, is she going to be Clark's cousin still, or is she just is this going to be a retelling of Superman, but instead of Superman, it's Supergirl? Then, after we had this conversation, the trailer came out, like, a day or two later, and I watched the whole trailer, and they make reference, oh, your cousin Cal, he wanted you to do this, and she's like, well, then why didn't he say? She's like, well, he wanted you to find your own path. So, Superman, Clark Kent, Kal-El, he's here in this universe. They're just not showing it.
Doing what? But I don't understand. Then what's he doing?
He's in Metropolis, doing whatever. This is not set in Metropolis, I don't think. They didn't say exactly where it's set. Jimmy Olsen is in it. However, he's not working at the Daily Planet here, so this might be before he goes to the planet. And
I don't know.
So I'm just really curious if this is all going to be in the same universe. Like, are they going to... They got to cast Superman. They have to.
Do they?
I mean, we saw in the trailer there was like a shadowy kind of like figure of Superman standing over her. So it's only a matter of time before they have to put Superman in. It's her cousin. You can't not put Superman in the show.
I guess.
So then that's going to lead to, if they could come to terms, are they going to be able to cross over? If they cast Superman, are they going to be able to do a show where these characters are able to coexist, like contract-wise and stuff like that?
I think the issue that I think might occur is that Supergirl still needs to be the focus of that show. If in any way Superman overshadows her.
No, I don't think Clark is going to be like a prominent figure in the thing. I think he's just going to come in for some guest appearances.
Yeah, no, but I even mean in scope. Like, if Superman's doing this crazy stuff, and then Supergirl's not quite doing crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like a level sort of thing. But this podcast is not about Supergirl.
No, it's not. But it's about the whole
it's all connected.
Universe.
Hashtag.
Yeah. And see, that really starts to upset me now, because the CW really knows what they're doing. Right? Yeah. They got this universe. This universe is great. And then the movies, they're trying to do these connected movies now in the DC cinematic universe. They're trying to do what Marvel's doing and emulate that. And then they go and announce a Flash movie coming out, and have somebody cast already, and even Steve Amell jumped in and is like, they should have cast the actor that plays Barry in the TV show.
I mean, the thing, DC's, what they're not trying to make an equivalent to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're just making movies. Like, they're making a cohesive movie universe, which I don't know how well that's gonna hold up. But it's different. Like, they said from the get-go, it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited about any of their movies coming out. Not a single one of them. Not even the Flash movie. I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Nope.
They need to study the CW's DC shows and see what CW is doing and work off of that. The universe needs, and I may be biased because of how much I love these shows, but I love them for a reason. They're doing something right. So they need to study these shows and build off of them, not the other way around.
I don't think that... I don't know. I choose to ignore the movies.
That's essentially what I'm doing.
And not even get mad because they're good shows. So I'm just going to live with the good shows because they're very good. I'm wondering if they're even... Because Hawkgirl... Come back to Hawkgirl. Could you tell she's my fave? Anyway,
was Hawkgirl in the finale of Flash?
Yes, she was. That was her.
Brief? Yeah, I thought so.
She's looking up at the black hole.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
we said that at the beginning.
I know. I'm kidding. So, Hawkgirl. I didn't have her talk. She didn't really say anything in this trailer.
No.
Which makes me wonder how much of her backstory and crazy shit that they're going to get into. because she's got past lives for thousands of years. She's got a weird connection thing with Hawkman, and I'm wondering if Hawkman's ever gonna come into this.
I don't know.
They're so closely tied. I would love to see Hawkgirl for a very long time without even hearing about Hawkman. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened in the Justice League Unlimited. Like, we had Hawkgirl for seasons, and then it's like, hey, this crazy Hawkman who's telling you have past lives, and it's like, what? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
So, very excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see Captain Cold.
Kind of in a hero role.
Yeah.
But he's not a hero, he's a legend.
Yay. They also show a clip of what it looked like Eobard from the back.
Yeah.
In a spaceship, and a time machine. The one that looks just like the one that Cisco built. I'm like, I wonder what's that. So
It actually, to me, it looked like they just interspliced clips from the Flash. The Flash finale. Because like this right here is it's exactly that. This is from the Flash right here.
That was okay.
This is
Sorry,
this is in the containment chamber.
When I watched the trailer, I thought that looked like space.
Yeah, no.
That to me looked like space.
Yeah, it was before the Flash.
Okay, so they just took it.
Yeah, it was before the Flash finale aired, so we didn't know where these clips were from. It just looks like that they just took a bunch of clips from everything they had at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
And threw it in there. So,
although Rip Hunter is played by
Rory,
but the actor I'm sorry. The Whovian in me has failed. But, yes, no, it's Rory.
Arthur Darvill.
Arthur Darvill, thank you so much. I'm ashamed of myself.
You should be.
But I'm really happy. I hope we can drag Rachel into this. I believe we could for Rory. I think we could do it.
Probably.
I'm very excited for more time travel and Rip Hunter. And
I'm not. My head is still hurting from the Flash.
Ah, come on. Bring it on. I can take it.
I love time travel. Time travel is my favorite thing ever. It's
your best friend or your worst enemy.
It is, because I just get, like, bored sometimes. I'm like, I want a good time travel. So I go on Netflix. I'm like, Back to the Future. No, that's not on there. I found Time Stoppers the other day, and I'm just like, well, this is boring. I put it on. I was in the mood for time travel.
I can't believe Back to the Future's not on Netflix. Man. What, do we leave anybody out? I feel like we talked about everyone.
Heat Wave. Yeah.
Heat Wave was they more focused on Cold than they did on Heat Wave.
They did.
I think because Captain Cold is he thinks with his head, like his evilness comes from his selfishness, but he uses his, like, smarts.
Yeah.
Whereas, Heatwave does not. He is just like, I want a thing to punch. Let me punch a thing.
Yeah, during some different interviews and stuff that they said there is a reason that Ronnie is not seen in the initial cast. There's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
That's all that was stated.
I mean, it's probably going to have to do with season 2 of Flash. I can't imagine it not being tied to that. And
they said more will be revealed about the nature of the series by the end of Arrow's 3rd season. Specifically why Lots is slated to appear, given her previous character, Canary, was killed at the start of Arrow season 3.
Wait.
Lots, the actress.
Yeah.
That plays Canary. What's her name? Katie Lotz.
Yeah.
Played Sarah Lance, a.k.a.
Wait, it says that at the end of Arrow season 3 we should have answers?
Yeah, and from what you've told me about, or from... Not what you've told me, but from what you've stated, it seems like the answers aren't exactly so clear. So
I guess not. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. Well, you your assumption with the Lazarus Pit. I'm just assuming maybe the Lazarus Pit was used by the end of the 3rd season. Did you see the Lazarus Pit in action?
I mean, yes.
Okay, so
not in the last episode.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily say the last. It says by the end.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It doesn't say in the end. So
we do see it used
to
bring someone back from being mostly dead.
Could only assume that that's Stephen Amell.
The answer may surprise you.
It may, or it may not.
Do you have anything else to say about this first look?
I can't wait. Like, I say that about everything.
I know.
But I literally can't wait. And I think this is like the cheesiest special effect that I've ever seen in the show.
I mean, I can imagine they put that together pretty quick.
This, right here. That's so cheesy. It's so cheesy.
I mean, listen, Dom, you watch Once Upon a Time and you're saying that's the cheesiest special effect you've ever seen?
Once Upon a Time is known for its horrible green screens.
It is. Although they've become less horrible over the years.
That is also true. But their special effects are good. It's their green screens that are bad.
I know.
I can't wait until 2016 for this. Like, granted, I know it's the very beginning of 2016, but that, even though that's 7 months away right now, or close to 6, that seems way too long.
We have so much to look forward to.
So much to get to. It's like, how did they get to this point? Like, we got to go through Arrow and Flash 2 half seasons.
In order to get to the beginning of this.
And then everything that just happened in the Flash, like, how is Earth 2 gonna tie into all this? And oh my god. I mean,
I think the big question is, obviously, Legends is gonna take place over different time periods, probably different timelines, and I'm wondering just how they're gonna fix, and I assume they're going out to fix timelines, to fix the timeline, or to, I don't know, because Rip wouldn't have come through time to say, hey guys, we gotta fix a thing if it wasn't like a big thing. I mean, obviously Vandal Savage is a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, he comes in and he says, you know, I preserve time, like that's my job, kind of, like that's what he does. And he says that your journey will lead you into the past and the future. That's specifically said in the trailer. So yeah, they're gonna go to both. And it's just like, so if his job is to preserve time, where has he been this whole time on the Flash? Huh? Maybe this is the catalyst of this.
Yeah, you know? Maybe he didn't realize there was anything needing fixing until, now.
Yeah. So.
I don't know, because a lot of things in the Flash have happened pretty fast, so.
Yeah.
Oh, just Canary looks so awesome.
I just love, they're like, oh, why'd you say that? There it comes.
Yeah. And I just wonder if White Canary, if Black Canary is gonna find out that White Canary is around and alive and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but you look here in this shot, you have Canary, Cold, Adam, and Barry, like Flash, whatever. They're all here. Barry's still not in his white and yellow suit, so keep that in mind.
Well, it's just the only thing that's white is the background of the
emblem. Yeah,
the emblem.
Right. So he's still not in that yet. But also note, Heat Wave's nowhere to be found here.
True.
Firestorm is nowhere to be found here.
True.
And Arrow is nowhere to be found here. So, I'm just curious.
But these scenes can also not be what will be in the final show.
That's true too, because
they film these now.
They did. They just filmed these recently, so things are subject to change. And they actually have gone out of their way stating none of them know where this is going right now. Because the story hasn't actually been written yet.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure
I would imagine they have to finish the first half of Arrow and Flash seasons to even finalize.
I'm sure that they have an outline for
of course.
for what's going to happen. It's just not concrete written down.
Yeah.
And filming is going to begin this August.
Yay!
So I'm super excited.
So Dom, where can people find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon.
Do.
And you can find me at Cleomoto on the socials and on Twitch at the Cleomoto. And you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcasts on Facebook, Gmail, Twitter, Google+, MySpace, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows and our favorite TV shows. Until
mainly our TV shows.
2016. Bye-bye.
No, 2015. Everything comes back in October.
Well, I was more saying that this show.
Well, yes. This universe comes back in like 4 months.
Yes. That.
Bahahaha.
Whoa.